It's been a while since I've done a vlog. Quite a while. Too long. The good news is things are starting to come back to a normal. There's events now happening, and I've been going out to a few of them, a couple of them, and I'm lining up my calendar with a few other ones, and I'm just basically doing my best to just jump in there in some capacity to do something to kind of get my name kind of rolling. So it's been mostly just photo stuff, but I'm obviously, any opportunity I get to pitch a video, even if it's like a short one. I mean, that's actually what I'm thinking of doing, is like less than 60-second message that would be more applicable. How do I put this? Like, because they could make the same message on their cell phone and they can put that on their own social media page, and that is fine, right? If I can figure something that fits outside of that, where it makes sense to host it somewhere else, that's kind of what I've been thinking of. But in any case, though, I went to a ball game the other day, and they have said that I'm welcome to come back anytime and take photos and whatever else. So that's pretty awesome. And through that, I noticed that it's very much a kids event, if you want to call it that. Maybe not a kids event, but there's unlike hockey games, because hockey games are a stadium and things are kind of compressed and as the way it is. There's not a lot of side activities you can really do. Where the baseball game, I find there's a lot of extra things you can do in between innings and games, and like all like the little sideshow stuff, right? And what I've noticed is a lot of that is geared and focused towards the kids, which I think is great. If I were to admit, I'm not like a sports person, let alone a baseball fan per se, but I think it's a great way to spend the afternoon, especially if you have family. Bring out the family, just to get out, And so, that's from inspiring my creative juices. That's an angle that I'd like to be able to work off of. So anyway, this is sort of still under development. But I had somebody comment on the post saying that they're going to be at a future baseball game, and what they do is I was surprised when I found it, or when I looked into it. They're I don't know how to describe it because I've never seen anything like it. They're not an amusement park, but they're not a playground, but they kind of combine those two sort of elements. Anyway, they're very, I'm sorry, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but they're it's all about children and fun, and there's nothing behind it. It's like a daycare, but like really nice looking. It's something where if I was a kid, I'd be all over that like a dirty shirt. And what's neat about them is they also do activities outside. So they got the big inflatable toys and stuff. And I can't really explain it well enough, but they seem to be, they exceeded, from what I'm seeing, they're exceeding my expectations of what I thought such a company would even exist. Anyway, there's probably a cool little angle that I could probably work with that, because pitching the baseball games and trying to make it more of a family event, which I'm sure they're already aware of, but from a marketing perspective and trying to tell that story, it's not about the Kelowna versus Kamloops and there's that sporting rivalry, but more importantly, it's a Sunday afternoon and it's the family coming out just to enjoy the game. And what better than to have the next of generation, the kids of all ages, to be able to be a part of that in some sort of way. So anyway, that's still all being sort of figured out and sorted out and whatever else. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but it leaves me a big consideration that the lion in the room is the hair. I mean, especially with children, you already have a whole bunch of sensitivities on that for marketing purposes and whatnot. But on top of that, if I'm wearing my hat and I got the long hair and the beard, and I know my public image isn't as good as it should be. And what I'm getting at and why I'm doing this right now is I think that now's the time to get a haircut. You know, like if I were to use the analogy, I felt like I've been just sitting in a black room or in a cave or whatever without a light. There's nowhere to move. You can't move anywhere. You can't see anything. And well, you know, there's some light now in a sense. Still got a lot of things to figure out, but I think the hair's got to go. And I'm not attached to it at all. This hair, I promise you, if you don't like the hair, I don't like it. I like it worse. Right? I don't like it anymore. Like, in fact, I would even go as far as saying, like, for everybody that doesn't like the hair, I'm probably all of that combined. And every new person or opportunity or thought where, you know, like, oh, what's the hair? I don't know about that. You know, that just adds on to how much more I don't like it. I mean, I'm not, like, it's a mess. It's a mess. And you girls, I don't know how you do it, like from cleaning it and maintaining it and keeping it looking decent. Like you girls do a lot of weird things that I never thought, I just kind of ignored. But like, it's everything. It's like when it was a bit shorter, it was kind of like getting in the eyes a little bit. All right, let that grow out, that'll be fine. But eventually you start eating it. There are some foods that I cannot eat anymore because of it. And even just generally eating anything, I gotta be mindful. I'm always like pushing down my beard, making sure everything. And then when I'm done eating, I still have to be mindful, like, you know, did I get a little something in my, you know, that I gotta deal with. But like, even like I had a donair a while ago, and it's like, you know, a donair, right? And you're like trying to, and it's just like, it just sucks everything into my mouth. It was gross. And even things like cereal and stuff, like it's just like everything. It's just a pain in the, I don't like it. Really don't like it. So I've been wanting to get rid of it for a while. Like I said, if, you know, light in the end of the tunnel, and I was hoping to do something special around it. You know, whether it be like a marketing story with a hairdresser locally. I am sending out a message, or have sent out a message to a place that I think would be probably the best fit for that. If they're good for doing something, we'll go with that. But I also have to address that, you know, like if I can't create a good, great, big story out of it, it doesn't really matter. It's not like I'm popular or known or anything. So it's not really like it's that big of a deal. Even a basic before and after photo show, and that's what I came out here to do too, is get some, you know, before the hair goes pictures. And then just simply just like, yeah, before, after, you know, that should be enough. And then I can move on and stop thinking about the hair. So yeah, with that said too, probably the next time you see me in a blog, hopefully the hair's gone. I want to get rid of it as soon as possible, because all these events are really starting to come out of the woodworks. And, you know, again, like I'm not too self-conscious of it. Like I can brush it aside, I can put it behind me, and I can just do what I need to do pretty easily. But, you know, I don't like explaining. I was like, yeah, this is the COVID beard to everybody that I sort of meet. So you know what, if got to strike while the iron's warming up. And otherwise, you know, what else am I going to do, right? So in either case, though, this is getting probably a little long, rambly, or whatever. I hope you have a good one. I hope you like this or whatever. And if you're really, I mean, my Facebook page will have more of the current events. You know, I'm throwing everything on Facebook. But yeah, I'm starting to really do stuff with Kelowna's Good Stuff for a change. You know, like I've always said, you know, before all the pictures, those were just like little things to kind of, there's a lot of stuff that I want to put on Kelowna's Good Stuff that just isn't there, and I'm working on it. And it is being received well. Oh yeah, well, I should mention it. I know it's like there's a whole laundry list of things that I had figured out before COVID. But I got to get a T-shirt. I got to get some logos. I got to get some business cards. My old business cards, they had too much information, and you know, anyway, I gotta streamline a little bit. I still have a lot of work to do, but I am looking forward to it. In the last while, anyway, I've been waking up with a purpose, with something to do, and it feels good. It feels good to have something to do. Now, when I don't have something to do, I'm like, like, what do I do? Sitting around the house is just boring. But But yeah, anyway, let's let this be. Thank you for getting this far, and let's just hope that from here on out, I mean, there's always a story, there's always gonna be problems, but from here on out, it'll be moving in the right direction for a change. So yeah, in any case though, let's end this. Okay, I don't know how long that is. It's the worst part about having one take is everything rides on it.